everyone doing? I apologize for that awkward beginning. My new cameraman, likes to record me when I'm doing random things. Once he even recorded me in the bathtub, but that's a story for another day. Today we are talking about knee pain and how to fix your knee pain. Okay, so when we talk about knee pain, just like we did with the shoulder and just like we did with the hip, knee pain doesn't necessarily occur from the knee joint itself. Pain often occurs from imbalances within the surrounding muscles. In this case, the surrounding muscles of the knee being the ankle and the hip. So we're going to discuss from a posture standpoint and a movement assessment standpoint what could be causing your pain. Do you have knee pain just when you're standing? Do you have knee pain when you're standing around a certain period of time? Or does it only bother you when you do certain movements? Like for an instance, does it bother you when you squat? Or does it only bother you when you squat to a certain depth? Right? These are all things that can affect your knee pain or can kind of show what the cause of it is, right? So it could be a lot of crap, right, to sum it up, but we're going to try and narrow it down a little bit to kind of tell, okay, well, why are you having your pain? When is it happening? Let's do that right now.
Nice bicep, Shane.
Thanks, man.
Where you got those from?
Walmart. Delete it. Fuck. So what we have to understand is from a posture standpoint, right? If we have any sort of tilting of the pelvis to one side, or we're predominantly putting weight on one side more than the other, obviously, just from an obvious standpoint, that can cause pain. So if I'm standing in line, right, and I'm standing like this, well, obviously I'm putting more weight on this leg, so this leg is going to bear more load than this one, which can obviously cause pain. Another thing that's occurring, right, I don't know if you guys saw it, but this, I'm standing, well, now my knee is sliding forward, okay? And with this sliding forward of the knee here, that puts the knee in obviously a position to not only bear more load, but now we're in an unstable, right? Unstable position, and if the knee is unstable, it's fair to say there could be pain in that area. That's from a posture standpoint. There could be many reasons why throughout our posture, why we would have knee pain. If we turn our heel out like this constantly, right? And this could be area of the butt or the glute that's too tight and that's externally rotating here. And now we're unstable, right? And causing some pain throughout the knee here. Or, right, if we're just standing around and we happen to do this, well, now I'm on my foot here, but this foot's in the air. So what foot's taking more of the load, right? And now what's going to be unstable or in pain? The one that's bearing more of the weight. So there's a ton of reasons why just from standing around we can have knee pain. But what if our knee pain only occurs within certain movements, right? So say for an instance, if I have an anterior pelvic tilt, and we talked about that in the hip video, right? This arching of the spine. Well, this arching of the spine, as we talked about, can occur from tight hip flexors, but it also can occur from tight hamstrings. If we have tight hamstrings and an inactivity in the quads, an overdominance of the back here is going to cause instability in the knee. Why? Because then when I go to squat, because of my tight hamstrings, remember that butt wink we talked about in the hip video? If you haven't watched that, I'll link that for you in the description below. Well, now my quads are too weak to bear the load here. So a couple things can happen. My knees can cave in like this, which can cause an instability, or because I have tight hamstrings and I don't really know how to load properly, my knees will slide forward, right? Because of this anterior tilt, because of the dip in the back here, with the back driving the movement up, the knees are going to slide forward, okay? And that can also cause instability. So those are a few ways that when we move, we cause instability. But another thing that can happen is in the calf. If I have tight calves, and a way to tell this is if you squat and your heels come off the floor, right? That is a signal of tight calves. And if we have tight calves and we cannot get our heels on the floor to squat, watch what happens when my heels come up. Look at the knee. The knee all of a sudden starts to shake, it starts to slide forward and become unstable. So a lot of times when people say they have knee issues, it's not necessarily an issue within the knee. It's an issue within the surrounding joints or muscles within those joints that create instability or create weakness in certain muscles, which can lead to your knee pain. So I want you to address the following things. I want you to make sure, check your hamstrings. If your hamstrings are tight and they're yanking on your pelvis and you have this anterior tilt, right? And you have this dip in the back that we've talked about before, that could be causing it. I want you to see, next time you start to have knee pain when you're standing, check how you're standing. Are you placing one leg, more weight on one leg than the other? Are you on your toe on one leg and standing on the other one, right? Or if you have knee pain when you squat, are your heels fully on the floor? Are your calves tight? Are you allowing your heels to stay flat on the floor to get down to parallel and up? Are your knees caving in? Are your quads weak and cannot bear the load? Are you using too much weight? That could be an issue. Are you using too much weight so that your knee caves in because your quad can't handle the load? I want you guys to test these things to see. Is it that maybe you get to a certain point and you have knee pain? Maybe the weight you're using is fine when you get to this position, but the second you get down here, right, you start to have knee pain. Is your knee sliding forward from that position? These are all things that you guys need to check and make sure that you fix and correct in order to try and attempt to fix the pain that you are having. All right, guys, I hope you found this video helpful. If so, please be sure to leave a like in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. Thank you so much again for watching. And hey, flex often. Delete it. Fuck.